Talk about whispers there. I mean, even people outside the party, we've heard names about the former presidents of this country who are not very good friends. Mr. President today, as some people who are also trying to fund Tambuwal. They say he's younger, he's from the north, he appeals to our demographic, who are some of the largest block of voters. So do you think that's going to be a serious factor going forward?
When we say the powers that be in this country,
yeah, they are powers that be.
They are powers that be, and we can't really, we only have, like you said, rumors or ideas of how their thinking is. We're not sure on what they're thinking actually, because like rightly said, there are two things here. It's about, okay, APC, what do they want? Do they want the open, free and fair primaries, where, whoever, like rightly said, they've promised us, like rightly said, with the two front runners will most likely be an Atiku and a Buhari, right? Now, are you also now looking at whoever emerges, if he will be the appropriate or most appropriate person to take on a Jonathan in PDP? So you're going to look at these two issues, like, okay, who do you want to emerge, and whoever emerges, who actually have the capacity to take on a Jonathan in PDP. Now, in my opinion, there are advantages and disadvantages for the two front runners, let's put it that way, and the not so much front runners. Yeah. Like when you are presenting a Kwankwaso, for example, who you are painting, who has little or no negative baggage, if I can use those words, you can actually sell a Kwankwaso in a new light. And some powers that be might think it would be an opportunity to sell a Kwankwaso in a new light and push new things. I mean, Jonathan, for example, when he came in 2011, didn't really have any strong past, so to speak, and it was the chip that they actually sold. They have no shoes and everything, and just painted the bright new guy that the whole country fell for. So you can paint something like that on someone like a Kwankwaso or maybe even a Tambuwal to a certain extent, but not, a Buhari or an Atiku.
No, in 2011, Jonathan had the power of the presidency. He had been president He had been president for a year. That counted in his favor. We'll forget about the shoes. True. He didn't have blisters by then.
True.
So that was definitely. Now let's look at the different APC candidates. A Buhari will definitely not get any traction in the southeast. It will be hard for him to get any traction in the south-south. So if Buhari emerges the APC candidates, APC should well forget the southeast and the south-south. The northwest, he's more popular in the northeast. The northwest, for example, there are some powerful PDP guys from the northwest who don't really like him.
But that's his region. He's Katsina, isn't it?
Yeah, he's Katsina. Does it matter? Now, an Atiku, you can sell an Atiku in the southeast. You can sell an Atiku in the south-south. So if APC want to be pragmatic, he will be the one, especially if they pick a very good VP candidate for him. It will be easier to sell him. Now, a Kwankwaso, all somebody used to do is to go to Onitsha and mention that this guy broke plenty bottles of beer in Kano once upon a time, and he's toast.
Come on, I really don't know.
It will be very difficult to sell Kwankwaso in the southeast. Now, south-south, I don't have that much of the pulse of that region. So, but Kwankwaso, no.
Okay, so now you're saying on an open race, Buhari will most likely be APC's candidate.
Yes.
But on sitting Jonathan Atiku is more likely
to
be the contender.
Yes.
Do you agree? You think Kwankwaso is more?
Well, in some ways, I agree. But
none of you seem excited about Tambuwal.
Yeah, I'm talking about Atiku. In some ways, I agree with what he's saying about Atiku. But I think APC as a party, has already decided looking beyond, okay, whoever we even failed, let's forget about South, Southeast.
For the most part.
For the most part. With the North and the Southwest, we can win the election.
Yeah, but then you are making
whoever, regardless of whatever
people make, which is regarding the North as a monolith. Number one, the North is not a monolith.
Of course not.
The North Central, which includes what we like to call the Middle Belt, is largely PDP. Largely.
Very true.
The Northwest is a bit of a split. You have guys like Babangida Aliyu and Wamako, who will swing votes in the direction of PDP. And even Sule Lamido, they will swing votes in the direction of PDP. Now, the Northeast is the place that APC would almost definitely have had a strong hand in. And guess where Boko Haram is very active?
Let's look at the vice presidential slot now. I mean, it's come up a lot, and one coinage I hate so much: Muslim, Christian, and all of those dynamics. People keep mentioning how that's going to be a serious factor. But then again, you keep wondering: is a vice presidential candidate that much of an influence? I mean, people think our current vice president is not that much of a heavyweight in the north, but Mr. President seems to be sticking with him still. And when the last president, Yar'Adua, who's late now, picked Jonathan, people didn't think he had any weight in the South-South, but he was still picked anyways. So why is the vice presidential slot for the APC seemingly so important all of a sudden?
Because somebody somewhere has successfully introduced this dangerous religious dimension to our politics. It's extremely dangerous. I mean, the election that everybody agrees was the first and fairest in our history, June 12, the alleged winning tickets was Muslim, and it wasn't much of an issue to Nigerians. So this is a dangerous dimension that has been introduced, and it's a sad dimension. The reason the vice presidency has become very important in recent years is because, well, we once had a president who died. So for everybody, there's this real possibility these days that, oh, you may have a president and he may kick a bucket for whatever reason, and the vice president suddenly becomes president. So nobody nowadays is going to pick up some kangaroo to be vice president. You actually just because it's no longer guaranteed that the president will be there for 4 years.
Yeah.
So you actually need somebody competent to be vice president.
But do you think whoever is picked by whoever wins the tickets in the APC will influence votes that much?
Definitely, to a large extent, because like you rightly said, it's now that they've brought out this religious dynamics in Muslim tickets and all that. So a lot of people are looking and watching and waiting and saying, you know, let's see if it's actually going to be. And it's unfortunate and it's very, very sad. Yeah. But that being said, if you have, looking at APC's demographics, you have the you have like a Buhari or Atiku or whoever, like I'm already saying they might be forgetting in a way, or just knowing that, okay, we might not get much from the southeast, south. But now if they are going for these locations, the southeast or south, you want like an Amici, for example, who is from the southeast, or somebody to, you know, fill that empty space. Or you might look to face the southwest, where, okay, we have probably a higher population of people in the southwest. Let's go for somebody, you know, a key figure in the southwest to back that up. So it's very key, I think. It might even be, you know, what the eventual winner of the election would balance on.
Just before we go on, I want to put you guys on the hot spot. You think it's going to be Jonathan Buhari again?
I think it's going to be Jonathan versus Buhari again.
You think it's going to be them again?
I do think so.
And you think the results will repeat itself?
Yes.
Do you agree?
I don't agree.
You think it's going to be Buhari this time? Okay. Maybe after February 15th, we'll call you guys back to see who has won this one. But thank you guys for joining us today. It's been a very interesting conversation.
Thank you.
And hopefully 2015 is as peaceful as we hope it will be, and not as bad as 2011 was. We're going to quickly apologize to you. We're supposed to have Brian Mwalawale here on the show as our entertainment guest, but unfortunately he was caught up in traffic and couldn't make it here. So we'll try and bring him on at our subsequent editions. So I will say you can join the conversation on Twitter at YNigerTV. It's the handle. The hashtag you can follow is Rubbin. You can also visit the website yniger.com/TV. Remember, you've never seen young people talk like this before. I'll see you next week.
We represent. What else? What else? Come on. See, just let's go. So let's dance now. It is not time. Just walk with me. I am ready for your action. Just walk with me. You should cut off all distraction. It's all